Hey, I'm Paul with Rack Attack, and at Rack Attack we have stores all across North America where we offer rooftop cargo boxes. These boxes are an excellent solution for transporting your extra gear on the roof of your vehicle for road trips and other adventures. So when we offer a cargo box, we like to ensure that you get the best box that fits the vehicle as well as the gear that you're transporting. So an example of that is this box is positioned on the vehicle to where you have a good transition of airflow from the windshield to go over the top of the box rather than directly into the underside, and it's positioned on the roof to where there will be no interference with the fully opened rear hatch, or if there's a rear antenna, we don't want to touch a rear antenna either. So those are some of the things we check for, in addition to your sunroof situation. If you want the ability to open and close your sunroof, we'll confirm that. In general, if you have a sunroof that opens internally, you shouldn't have any concerns about it coming in contact with the mounting hardware of the cargo box. However, if you do have a sunroof that opens externally, you would definitely want to do a test fit to make sure that you have no contact there. Okay, so another thing we like to cover is accessing the box. So an easy way to access a box, especially if it's on a taller SUV like you see here, is by utilizing the threshold. The majority of thresholds on vehicles are flat, giving you a good platform to stand on. So what I'll do here is just grab the roof rack and then stand on this threshold, and in this position I can wedge my body into the corner of the door frame. That way I'm hands-free, where I can load and unload gear while having stability within the door frame. Another thing I like to mention is we like to put the key for one of the keys for the cargo box on your ignition. That way, if you accidentally leave the key in there, you won't be able to drive away without actually first locking the box. So for example, the box here is in the unlocked position, and you can't get the key out until it's locked. That's generally what you find on most boxes, is they have that safety feature built in. So let's go ahead and take a look on the inside of the box, and I'll go over some other things that we like to discuss. So we mentioned we have the key attached to the ignition. The second key that's provided with a cargo box, that will be provided, and it's best to have that in the vehicle but not circulating among other passengers or users. And the reason for that is that it is possible to have the box closed, still unlocked, and someone else inadvertently going to the opposite side of the box and opening up the opposite side of the box, thereby leaving all latches on both sides unlatched and the lid difficult to reattach. So only one key should be circulating, and that key should be on your ignition, and the spare should be kept set aside along with your manual in your glove box. Okay, so we have some samples of luggage inside. Of course, you can carry a wide variety of gear, but in general, you want to carry the lightweight, bulky items inside the cargo box. Generally, these cargo boxes can carry from 110 to 165 pounds. And so when you pack a box, you would typically put the heavier gear towards the center and lighter towards the ends, and then pack with the more rigid type luggage in the middle, and then pack around that luggage with softer, more conforming type luggage so that it can compress and conform to the irregular shapes of the cargo box. Some other little tips is, it's not a bad idea to have on hand a headlight, and a headlight can really help at early morning or late at night. If you arrive to your destination or leaving early, you can turn on your light and you have hands-free visibility to your gear, and it points to where you're looking. So that's a great thing to have. There are some very high-end boxes that actually have lights that are integrated into the box. Those are also available, but for majority of boxes, this is a great, inexpensive solution for giving you visibility inside the box. Now, the other thing I want to discuss is the height. So let's go ahead and close the box. And before a customer leaves, we always want to give them the overall height of the box. So this is a method that we can use here, where I have the measuring tape on the ground, and I've got a right angle on the measuring tape at the top of the box here. So here I'm right at about 8 feet. Now, what we'll do is, with that measurement, you may have a Post-it note or a piece of tape, and you would just write down that number and put that Post-it note on your dash. That way you have an immediate visible indication of what your total height is, and that way while you're driving, if you approach a commercial garage and it has a height on it, you'll know exactly whether or not you can go in safely. Okay, the other thing that is important from a safety standpoint is the fact that you do have added weight in the box, and that can change the handling of the vehicle. So once you leave before you leave on a road trip with your fully packed box, it's a good idea to find an empty parking lot and do some figure 8 maneuvering. Just that way you get a sense of how it changes the way the vehicle will handle on your road trip, so that there's no surprises if you make any sudden maneuvers in the vehicle. And speaking to that, generally you would inflate the tires to the maximum inflation. So you would double check all of 4 of your tires to see if you can maximize the inflation pressure for the heavier load that you're carrying on that road trip. Also, it's just a good idea to maintain your tire pressure on road trips. It can really benefit you in terms of fuel economy. Speaking of fuel economy, cargo boxes will impact your fuel economy, or of course for electric vehicles, your range. However, a lot of that fuel economy is attributed to the box, while it should be also considered the fact that you have the added weight of the box and the contents, as well as the added weight that's in the vehicle, generally more passengers and extra gear that's in the back. That should be taken into consideration, because when you accelerate that weight, it's a lot more effort for the engine to bring that weight up to speed over and over again. When you're on the highway, the fuel economy and the range of an aerodynamic box is really minimal. So it's generally the weight that actually has the biggest impact. And so you will see a difference. That's because you're generally driving the vehicle without all that weight, and then you're adding all this extra weight. So keep that in mind, that weight is the primary reason for the reduction in range or the fuel economy. So something that you'll find with the majority of the boxes that we offer is they are very low frontal area and low profile. So they tend to be long and low rather than tall and wide. And so and then they're also offered in multiple lengths, so that you can get it to be a very good proportional fit to your vehicle without being a big aerodynamic drag. Okay, so those are all the main key points that we like to cover for considered best practice with these cargo boxes, and some tips and tricks. So come see us at one of our stores across North America, where we can help you determine the best cargo box for your vehicle and the gear that you're carrying. So I'm Paul with Rack Attack, and thanks for watching.